because it wasn't fair. Because a few children got taken from their families and then got treated like slaves, and that isn't nice to do to children about 8 or 9 years old. That's not good.
Thank you, Megan. It's a huge thought.
So Jim of the UHI, Jim McPherson, Dr. Jim McPherson, designed this project, or had this methodology based on what had been done in the windows in Dornoch Cathedral before. And together, those of us beginning to think about it thought it was really important that whatever you do in the community also has roots in schools. And we were really fortunate that there are good relationships between the church and both the primary schools currently. So we were really grateful to the two head teachers, Mandy MacLeod in Aberlour and Sarah Wright in Craigellachie, to identify a couple of classes that could work with the Textile. So that was primary 4 through 7 in Craigellachie and primary 4-5 in Aberlour. Miss McCook's class and Mr. Kearton's class, who, as you can see behind me, created incredible textiles based on squares that take traditions from Caribbean embroidery and quilting, and also inspired by the Gee's Bend quilts in Alabama in the south of the States. And the kids worked together. Before that, they had a lot of input about learning the roots of slavery and the transatlantic slave trade, in particular the triangle that went from the United Kingdom down to West Africa, across to the Caribbean, to the southern United States and back again, and how all that operated. One thing that was really fascinating in Craigellachie was they had done the Jacobites and the Highland clearances just the term before, and some of the pupils you saw drawing lines between the colonial influences that caused Highland clearances, which are even still felt to this day in this part of the world, the consequences of that, and drawing lines between those colonial influences and the far more egregious and humanly destructive, but still part of the same colonial project, empire project of transatlantic slavery. So it's been so good today to have some of the pupils from the classes share a bit of their story, sharing their feelings. And what we saw in the classrooms was actually quite a lot of emotion learning about these things as well, and the empathy they instinctively had for the stories of people who were enslaved in the Caribbean. Particularly, we were able, Alexander Grant is a figure particular to Aberlour, and on one of the registers we have names of those he held as slaves at Bryan Castle in Jamaica with ages. And so we had names of children of primary school age whose names, just their first names, that were given to them. These were not their own names. It was a mode of oppression as well. But those names that we have embroidered into the blue of the third tapestry banner that we did as a community in church. So these were real human people, children with real names that the kids today were able to empathize with and imagine from what they've learned what life might have been like for them. I saw a bit of that today, and it's been really moving to hear them share their experiences today as well.